Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bayshore, dear Administrator, and also today's seniors. It is my privilege today, and also someone I'm extremely proud of, my son-in-law, William Toth, who is a licensed mental health counselor at Apex Behavioral Center in Port Charlotte. And he excels at what he does. It's very rare, I think, for a mother-in-law to ask her son-in-law for advice, but I have been known to do that very often.
Every once in a while.
One of the things, William, that you and you have helped me understand greatly, because I have seen that seniors have been victims of medication theft, especially opiates, and usually it is within the family. It is a large thing for a senior to accept, but there is a point where seniors are going to need to have to start making sure that their medicine cabinet is not easily accessible. Could you tell us a little bit about what you've seen in your practice?
Sure, yeah. I think the opiate epidemic is overlooked by the seniors, being that they didn't come up during this time. So obviously education is going to be important as far as with the seniors, so they can understand the impact that it has on the people that are either abusing or stealing the medication. So more than anything, it's going to be education.
And someone like you could help educate them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. And you could also help their children realize that this addiction is something that takes a great deal of hard work.
Yeah, you definitely have to educate family members as well, so that they can keep an eye on medication. Also, with seniors, you got a lot of times you're dealing with memory loss, so you have to be aware of the fact that they could also abuse the medication by overtaking it. And that can also cause a lot of problems.
That is an excellent point. That's why at Bayshore Guest Home and Gardens, what we're doing is we are in cyberspace in our MOR. And we check off electronically every medication when it's given.
Great.
But seniors obviously cannot do that. It would be wise to have a sort of narcotic sheet that they can get from the pharmacy, so they can check
Sure.
the time they take it.
That would make a lot of sense. But I think what you're dealing with a lot of times with the elderly is a lot of times they don't want to accept the fact that they're starting to lose their memory or become more forgetful. So that tends to get put to the back burner for maybe 5 years or so before they can actually accept the fact that they can't monitor the medication appropriately. So that's really the job of professionals and also of family members to become aware of these different changes in cognitive ability.
That's good. That's good. We also discussed once, William, about how it seems that sometimes an older person, a senior, has several doctors.
Right.
And it is what we call polypharmaceuticals. They forget, or they will complain to one doctor about something. The doctor will put them on something. It either copies, negate, but in many cases, if it's for pain, it can create addiction.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not the type of addiction you see in a lot of the younger people today with regards to risky behavior, stealing, things of this sort. It's more of physical dependence, and I don't think that most seniors are aware of the fact that you can and will become physically dependent on these different medications, especially pain medication, opiates. Mm-hmm.
But also benzoids. I've noticed that
Absolutely.
if you have an elderly person on a benzoid, let's use an example. Well, I really don't want to get into the example, but let's just use, they're on benzoids 0.5, 3 times a day, or PRN is needed for anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
After a couple of years, if they do not take their medication, they can go into a withdrawal that creates a seizure. Am I correct?
Absolutely. That's actually benzodiazepines are the worst medication to withdraw from, next to alcohol. They're kind of closely linked, but absolutely, if you were to stop taking a benzodiazepine after 2 or 3 years of multiple milligrams per day, you would have serious repercussions, be it seizure or...
And you speak from experience,
Absolutely,
because I know
absolutely.
that you're in the crisis center.
Absolutely.
You were there for 2 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, you would have to be detoxed from that type of medication.
Okay. In our next interview, if it would be possible, I would like to address, William, homelessness in the seniors and also the fact that because it may be a mental illness, they self-medicate with other medications, alcohol, etc. And it's not that they are addicts as much as that they need psychotropic medication or bipolar medication or something, but their poverty is stopping them from being able to do that, and they do suffer greatly and become homeless.
Absolutely. Undiagnosed mental health, more times than not, is self-medicated if you're not aware of your diagnosis. You obviously want to try to cope with this change in either mood or thought process.
Okay, and we are going for the diversion program at Bayshore because we would like to be able to take in people that do need us to help them, whether it's long-term or short-term, to be able to get healthy mentally and stable.
That's great for the community.
Thank you. I appreciate it. William?
Thank you.
Namaste.
Nice talking to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us, the Dear Administrator, Bayshore Guest Home and Gardens, and today's seniors. Good afternoon.